This podcast is part of the Big Heads Media Podcast Network. Go to bigheadsmedia.com for more great podcasts.
Previously on TV Tuners.
He's too sensual. We can't stop him.
The name Sex Have Some. Heard you fellas needed a pilot?
Get ready for meteor strikes.
Might as well go for a soda.
We're lost in the Indies. Andes? I don't know how it's pronounced.
The jungle is alive. Sounds of death?
And now TV Tuners continues.
Hi there, folks, and welcome to TV Tuners. It's a television podcast for the true fanatics. It's a weekly dive in the latest in TV news and reviews. I'm your host, Swanson. With me, as always, is my co-host and demon who's lived on Earth since the beginning of creation, Stairmaster.
I sort of look like Elton John, sort of.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
Sort of.
Yeah, sure. Rocket Man in theaters now. And with us, as always, is our other co-host and none trying to facilitate the Antichrist, Keo Rain.
Hello.
Wow, you're so genial and nice.
You mean he's not the angel?
No, why would I make him the angel? It's too obvious.
Well, the newer... Okay.
It's like you haven't listened to 40 episodes of this podcast.
I haven't.
Swanson, are you the angel?
Clearly I'm the narrator, which means I'm God.
Oh, here we go again with this
Swanson's
God
my
complex.
least favorite now.
Oh, I created everything. You guys are just little peons. Yeah, whatever, Swanson.
Look, I
Everything
created this
is pursued.
podcast and I can destroy it.
Everything is proceeding as according to my Keikaku.
Swanson, what are you doing with that hammer?
I'm just building stuff.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to smash the podcast with it.
No, the only thing I'm going to smash is the patriarchy.
Ooh.
Because you're God and God is a woman?
Well, in this reality, yeah. God is every woman. It's all in me. Anyway.
What if God was one of us, but not the men?
That's the part they don't tell you in the song. That's what it means.
What if God is the Quaker oatmeal guy?
Oh.
What if God is the maple syrup lady?
And that's why they're always like sort of staring at you on the Quaker Oats box or the maple syrup bottle.
Yeah, that's how they watch everything.
Maybe there's like a Holy Trinity thing going on there, and there's like a third one we're not sure of yet.
What if God is like some sort of amorphous being that doesn't have a gender?
You mean like a big energy orb?
Sure.
Maybe it's a giant space crystal.
Well, you just gendered him again.
Shit.
Anyway, what'd you guys watch this week?
Well, I've been watching the 2010 Romance of the Three Kingdoms series.
Expand on that.
You want to know what Romance of the Three Kingdoms is?
I mean, it's a novel, isn't it? Like an old one?
Yes, it's like a historical epic based off this period of conflict in like 190 AD to 250 AD China. After the emperor kind of just gets like nabbed by this one guy.
Is it good?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Does it make you smile or frown?
It makes me smile and laugh.
I figured you were going to talk about, the King of Monsters.
Oh. That's a big frown.
No? You don't want to talk about... You don't want to talk about Gojira?
Godzilla?
No, Gojira.
No, it's Godzilla.
Gojira.
Okay.
Gordzilla.
If I had been more engaged with that movie, there would have been one line that would have made me throw my drink at the screen. They make a joke about Ghidorah sounding like gonorrhea.
Oh no!
Oh man,
Cops called on that.
Mothra sounds
Yes.
like Martha.
Like, all the human characters in that film seem to only exist to deliver quips or being a divorced dad.
So what? Someone mentions that Ghidorah is coming, and they're like, more like gonorrhea.
They call him Ghidorah. What was that? It was gonorrhea? It was something like that.
Oh,
God,
okay,
that's
well,
like
I'm
Michael
gonna,
Bay shit.
I'm gonna defend the divorced dad character because that's the anchor of the movie.
Wait,
So-
Keo, have you also seen this movie?
No, but I'm aware that every movie requires some kind of man with romantic turmoil.
To be fair, the 2014 one also had the divorced dad. Well,
Yeah.
he was divorced by death, so... But he was
It
still
doesn't really
very...
count.
He was a lot more interesting, though.
They don't
Possibly
really call
because
it.
Bryan Cranston's a better actor.
They don't really call it divorce by death. It's a no. There's a whole other word for that.
Yeah,
They should.
it's cuckolded by death.
Oh man, that's my favorite porno.
The Grim Bowl.
Yeah, your wife comes up to you and it's just like, we need to talk, and the Grim Reaper's there, and it's
Yeah.
like, I've met someone else.
Anyway, Keo, what'd you watch? I know you always watch some juicy stuff.
Well, Swanson, I watched The Sunset.
Oh, that's lame. That happens every day. It's a rerun.
Yeah, but how often do you sit back and enjoy it?
Let's see. 26.
And it's not a rerun, Swanson.
Plus.
The clouds are different every time. Unless there's no clouds, then it's the same.
I've determined that I've done that twice.
Yeah, I'm sure you've seen episodes of television shows more than twice, so...
Yeah,
That's
and it always
true.
ends the same way. With the sunset, the sun goes down.
No, not every time.
What?
Okay, which... What?
You tell me there are times
Sometime-
where the sun doesn't go down?
Sometimes it bounces off the horizon. And
Yeah.
you get a super rare JPEG.
Wait, are you taking photos of these, Keo? Are you taking sweet JPEGs of these?
He's rolling the gacha.
Yeah.
He's participating in the gachapon of the cosmos.
I got an SSR once.
Whoa.
That means super rare. That means super, super rare.
There you go.
Yeah, like one time I got a picture of the sun in a bikini. It was pretty great.
Oh, that's hot. Literally.
I got one of the moon in a one piece.
Oh, that's even better.
The moon is very modest.
Well, I don't know. I think it's more perverted. I mean, it shows off the curves more than the bikini.
Yeah, but
That
it also
was-
leaves more to the imagination. Which
That's
is what-
even
which
more
is what-
perverted, leaving more
which
to
is
the
what the-
imagination.
Which is what the moon wants.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, if you're imagining, you're more perverted than if you're just looking.
I guess. Are you saying that imagination is inherently perverted?
Well, if you're
Yes.
imagining somebody's body in a sexual way,
I
yes.
mean, the brain is the number one sexual organ, as rated by People magazine.
Oh,
Ooh.
man. That won out this year?
Yes.
Yeah.
Top 10 sex flesh implements.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta see that.
What a
also.
sexy title for it, too.
They couldn't say organs because that was copyrighted by Time magazine.
Yeah. Yeah, what a huge victory for them.
Mm.
Anyway, I watched the season finale of Cloak and Dagger. It was a good season. I'd probably put it above
Oh.
the first one.
Wait, I thought it was already over. How
Yeah,
long has it been since the last time you talked about Close and Dagger?
Exactly 10 weeks.
Oh, okay, that's plenty of time for a TV series.
Anyway, it was good. It was a good season. Some fun stuff
Okay, so-
happened. Some people did stuff.
Did they have a subplot where Dagger felt like they were becoming very Cloakish, and Cloak felt like they were becoming very Daggerish? and they questioned who they really were.
Sort of, but they didn't word it like that.
Or who they wanted to be, I mean.
I mean, most of the season was about their identity apart from one another and together, so...
Got it a 1.
What's
On
your
the
favorite
green!
thing about... Ooh. That's on the yellow. You failed.
I hate it when that happens in golf.
Yeah, don't you hate getting it on the yellow?
On the yellow trap.
That's the weirdest thing that I've noticed about Kyoran, is that you always say, every time you see sand, you always say yellow.
Yeah, it's yellow.
When we go to the beach, Kyo's just like, look at all this yellow.
Let's build a yellow castle.
Yeah, and he people get disgusted and leave, thinking he's doing like something perverted.
Well, I don't understand why they don't comprehend colors.
Kyo's always like, bring a scarf in case a yellow storm comes by.
As that happens very often at the beach.
Yeah, you know all those sandstorms that happen at the beach.
I mean, where else would they happen?
A desert?
I mean, yes, also full of yellow.
What's your favorite part about Cloak and Dagger, Swanson?
Did you know that Nebraska is a bunch of yellow underneath all that grass?
That's disgusting.
A bunch of yellow dunes.
My favorite part, I guess, is the most surprising part about it, which is that it is actually able to accurately address social issues without coming off as like weird or hokey.
Did it have any class politic?
Yes, a lot of it, because half the cast is people of color.
Let me ask you a question.
No, class politic, not identity politic.
Those are pretty close together.
Mm.
Do they ever have a character look at the camera directly and give a 1-minute speech about a social issue?
No, thankfully.
Do they have a villain? Do they have a villain who's just carrying a huge burlap sack of money all the time?
No, but they do have a villain who's a dirty cop.
Yeah, that's good.
And killed Cloak's brother.
That's good.
Also,
was Cloak sad about that or happy?
I'm pretty sure he was sad.
Okay.
They also have a villain whose power is that he takes the joy from people's lives and then puts it in a metaphorical record store to listen to later.
Okay, that's very late stage capitalism.
That's creepy.
Yeah, it's also really dope as shit to see on screen. It's a cool ass power.
So what, did he just like break into people's houses while they're having sex?
No, he runs like a drug rehabilitation program and then feeds off of people's like pain and joy. And then turns that into like a metaphorical CD inside of his like realm. It's pretty cool.
I'd hang out with him, yeah. I'd go visit that metaphorical location.
Anyway. Wait, how much do these records cost that he's selling?
He's not selling them, they're for himself.
Oh.
That's how he gets his power.
That's a good grift.
Yeah, pretty nice. Anyway, recommended. Good season. Probably the best Marvel thing that's still going, presuming it hasn't been canceled.
It will be very soon.
But what about the comics?
Oh, I don't
All
know.
of them, I mean.
I don't think I've read a Cloak and Dagger comic, which might be why my enjoyment is better on this show.
You heard it here, fellas. Jesse Swanson, reading is gay.
Those were my exact words.
No.
Yeah. Well, see, reading is gay, but gay, it's cool.
Oh, okay.
Happy Pride Month, everyone. You can show your pride for TV tuners by donating to our Patreon.
Yep, that totally exists.
And that's how it works.
And
yeah, for every $1 we get, we're going to add one more color to something.
If we get $69 a month, I will suck off Kyoran.
I didn't consent to that.
You will once you see that money come in.
Good point.
All right. Well, let's get on to the news, huh? Everybody's favorite show, Chernobyl.
Yay! Norm!
HBO's miniseries about the destructive power plant disaster
That's true.
Has taken people by storm. And apparently the storm has taken people
It's
too.
afflicted the people.
Yes, it's afflicted the folks. They're dancing in the ashes.
It's contaminated IMDb. We're getting like 10.0 per hour.
Anyway, it's attracted visitors so much that Pripyat, is that the name? Is that how you say that? Sure.
Yes.
The ghost city that has been evacuated due to the reactor is now seeing a 40% increase in visitors compared to last year.
Yeah, it's cool. You should do it. It's
yeah.
actually pretty safe nowadays.
Yeah, they
Like
say
the one
that...
place.
Hmm?
The one place you don't want to hang out is like in the power plant parking lot.
Well, do they
for
let
too
you
long.
hang out in there?
No,
Yeah.
I know they'll take people on tours. Saw one video of these guys checking out Reactor 3.
And then like a strange mutant came out and attacked them? Or...
Yes.
Okay.
Well, that's just any part of Russia, really.
That's true, yeah. There's a lot of strange mutants that roam the countrysides of Russia.
They had to adapt to the cold somehow.
Yeah, they've mutated into like having huge fur and huge
What do you think
white fur and long nails.
Yeah, what do you think the tail of the Baba Yaga comes from? It's from all the mutants.
Oh, I just thought that was what John Wick was.
No, he kills the mutants.
Oh. Anyway, there's a number of day trips available if you are looking for a new place to visit.
I mean, name a cooler vacation spot, to be honest.
I don't know, the beach. Any of them.
Yeah,
There's a lot
no
of yellow
beach
at the beach, though.
Oh, if only they could like fill that pool back up in Pripyat. That'd be cool.
Yeah, radioactive
They got
water is
first
what
one.
I want.
Well, presumably they wouldn't use water from like the river.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah,
apparently...
they would get the coolant water from the...
yeah, from the reactor. That should be good.
Mm.
Do you think the elephant foot's there? Can you see that?
Oh yeah, actually it's pretty safe nowadays. You know, that famous photograph is a selfie.
Nice.
You can see the guy in the background posing next to it.
And then you see his soul leave his body.
Well, that's just Russia. That happens all the time.
Yeah, mutants are roaming the countryside, and also
And
people's
people are
souls.
just despairing
Yeah.
so hard.
Anyway, apparently the area is, like Stairmaster said, pretty inhabitable with a bunch of wildlife being in the area.
You don't want to... Well, I wouldn't say it's inhabitable. It's
They're
visitable.
not habitable, but it's good for short-term visitors.
Like,
Yeah, so I actually went there and I brought home a cute little doggy from
Aww.
the Chernobyl.
They got like a thing that's actually giving out adoptable puppies from Chernobyl.
Keo, this dog is staring at me with the heat of 1,000 suns.
Also, it's 8 feet tall.
Yeah, the wilderness is a little rough there. There's been
It's built
bit
like
of-
Dwayne Johnson.
a little bit of genetic damage there.
And it has wings.
Dwayne the Dog Johnson.
Well, that's a good name. I actually hadn't named it yet, but yeah. Enjoy.
Enjoy? It's your dog.
No, it's for you guys.
You just said you got it.
News story.
Yeah, I brought it here for you
Are we gonna
guys
talk
to
about the
enjoy.
fact the dog is talking?
Yeah, why is the dog bossing us around?
I don't know. It didn't talk to me.
I'm established now. Cope with it.
Well, can you not hear this dog, Keo, Rain?
No, I can hear it, but like, it's on you guys, not my problem.
You're part of this podcast. He's bossing us around.
Oh, I'm gonna choose to ignore it.
I'm only
Just like-
going to what the viewers want. Rough.
Just like the leadership in Chernobyl decided to ignore the giant explosion.
Wow. What a potent metaphor.
It's almost like it's something happening today right now.
Nah.
Huh?
Perhaps there's an even bigger explosion that is happening or about to happen in our atmosphere and climate.
Nah. It's fine.
Strange way to describe the accumulation of CO2.
It's gonna blow.
Okay,
It's gonna blow up, Keo, Rain.
Guys, the dog is hovering and he's phasing through the ceiling and he's gone.
Is he gone, or is he
Huh.
just want us to think he's gone?
I think he left. I think he doesn't want to be here anymore.
Interesting. It's almost as if
He
someone
did seem
wrote him
very
out because they
frustrated.
got bored with him. In a very Simpsons-esque way, even.
More like a Game of Thrones-esque way.
I don't know. It
I
did
thought
sound
he
like
was
he
just
was...
a climate change denier.
Oh, wait, hold on. He left this note. He said he had to go be with his people. Huh, I don't know what that means, but...
Presumably the other dogs in Chernobyl.
Huh.
Oh, wait, no, there's an addendum here. He died on the way back to his home
Oh,
planet.
no!
Oh, man. You hate to see it. All right, well... Chernobyl isn't the only thing that's got people buzzing
And glowing.
and glowing. MTV recently announced that it's bringing back 2 of its old reality shows for a new streaming service. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for another edition of Guess That Streaming Service! A new thing that I just made up where instead of guessing the streaming service, I just tell you what it is and we all sigh.
Hello, welcome to the Burger King Max streaming service.
Ooh.
Another streaming service.
Our
Whoa.
library includes Cheers,
Oh, that's available everywhere.
Click starring Adam Sandler,
Ugh.
Does he eat a burger in that?
Rocky 5,
He eats a burger in that.
and The Raid 1 and 2.
Oh. No one eats burgers in those, I don't think, but...
No, they definitely do not. A guy's face gets turned into burgers.
Wait, where's
I
the
don't know
market
what that
synergy for Burger King offering that show, then? Or movie, whatever.
We didn't think that far ahead.
Oh, and answer questions.
Well,
Do we get any kind of, like-
They all do feature kings.
Do we get any, like,
Some
food
kind.
deals if we
Interesting.
subscribe to this service?
What? My question is, what king is in Click?
Adam Sandler, king of comedy.
Oh,
The other guy.
yeah, you got that right. Oh, the other guy, king of things.
You know, the famous guy. What's his name?
Christopher Walken.
Yeah, it's Christopher Walken. Thank you.
King of talking kind of funny.
This streaming service isn't very good at remembering the names of the people on its streaming service.
My memory banks are very low. I only have 5 gigabytes of memory, and that's all used for the 4K rips of these films.
Boy,
And the entirety of Cheers.
man, Cheers in 4K. Just what I've always wanted.
You can see every bead of sweat on Norm's face.
And there's a lot of them.
Wow, it's at 60 frames per second for some reason, too.
Oh, God. And there's motion blurring.
Wow, it's almost like
moving
this show.
filter.
It's almost like it completely ruins the experience of this show made 30 years ago.
Also, it's cropped at 16 by 9.
Oh God, I can't wait to watch this absolutely destroyed television program.
Why is there a CGI Jabba the Hutt?
Norm's been replaced by Boba Fett.
I don't know. Maybe that might be interesting.
It's just Boba Fett sitting at a bar.
Oh,
Boba.
That would make me watch The Mandalorian. I tell
And
you
why
what.
is there a cinematic soundtrack over it?
Norm?
Anyway, yes, MTV has announced that for a new, and this is a quote, mobile-first media technology platform, Quibi.
What do they mean, mobile first?
Means it's on phones.
But other streaming services have been on phones.
It means it works real good on your phone.
Yeah, it's
Like,
designed
real good.
specifically for phones first.
Now available on the Nokia N-Gage.
It's called Quibi, and they're bringing back 2 of their old reality shows for the service.
Uh-oh, here we go
Ooh.
again.
That's right.
Sex House.
No, but close. Singled Out. Singled Out is a show that I think we were all way too young for. It premiered in 1995, was hosted by Chris Hardwick.
Why?
He was
I
still
was 8 years
hosting.
old watching that.
He was still hosting stuff in 1995. I mean, don't worry, he wasn't even the worst host because his co-host was Jenny McCarthy. A noted anti-vaxxer.
Yeah,
And,
it's real.
yeah. Anyway, the episode featured male and female contestants who narrowed down a pool of 50 singles ready to mingle by process of elimination. Pretty much it was like a game.
Mingled, I mean fuck.
Yeah, pretty much it was Tinder for drunk 90s college kids.
But also you had to get on a major television game show
Yeah.
in order to use the service.
You know, finding someone to have sex with in the 90s was way harder than it is nowadays.
I assume the losers aren't allowed to fuck?
No, you can't fuck it.
Because
Ever.
Otherwise there would be no stakes.
Yeah. Anyway, needless to say, Singled Out does not sound like a show that is really should be revived in any sort of way.
Like, there should be, like, a Vietnam War memorial to it.
What do you expand on that?
To all the names of the people who aren't allowed to fuck anymore because of it.
There's just a giant wall of people who aren't supposed to fuck anymore?
Who aren't allowed to fuck under penalty of death.
What kind of dystopian reality are you building right now? It sounds like the worst episode of Black Mirror.
Or maybe the best.
Yeah.
I'm picturing a computer.
This sounds better than the average Black Mirror episode, to be honest.
A computer that, is the host?
That loops through all the shows that exist.
Welcome to Singled Out.
And picks out the ones to revive. And it's like, my processor has selected Singled Out.
You may receive ultimate pleasure or ultimate celibacy.
You decide.
It is through your skill and skill alone. Now fight. Dun 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 dun.
Oh man, the gladiator round in Singled Out is the part that no one expects.
They're fighting in front of those rocks like that.
Someone totally just for real straight up dies immediately.
Yeah, of course.
Well, of course. How else do you sate the bloodlust?
Run through with a halberd.
Yeah, you got to keep those Quibi subscribers ready.
Oh yeah, what's the other reality show?
Punked.
You're really saving that one for us.
I guess that one would have more people getting killed on it, to be honest.
Yeah. Of course, Punked
what,
needs
like
no...
Punked is just like being randomly murdered now?
Punked, of course, needs no explanation. It is, of course, the show where Ashton Kutcher would play pranks on famous people.
Prove your loyalty to me. Prank your best friend.
Yeah, presumably Ashton Kutcher is not coming back for this revival.
And he's not being replaced by a giant supercomputer.
Well, I mean, I would watch if he was being replaced by a computer that's just playing pranks on people.
This big
calculating
tower with an LED eye.
Weakness identified.
Hit him in the balls.
You have been punked. You have been punked. You have been punked.
Scanning. Vulnerable. Ball sack detected.
I don't think there was a lot of, like, ball gags on Punked. That sounds more like Jackass's territory.
Initiating Bam Margera protocol.
Well, he was definitely not on Punked. Actually, he might have been.
2019. We're doing lots of ball stuff now.
This episode of TV Tuners is sponsored by Cock and Ball Torture.
.com was.
No, just the concept.
Oh, alright. Anyway, Stairmaster was right. Bam Margera was on Punked.
Wow.
The revival in 2010.
I mean, who else would you want to revive Punked?
Yeah, in 2012 it was revived for one season and then immediately canceled again.
Good riddance.
Okay, hear me out here. Punked, but the host is a stoic man wearing a suit.
Oh. Welcome.
It's a guy from Unsolved Mysteries.
I think he's dead.
Fuck.
I'm pretty sure that 80-year-old man from the 90s is not alive anymore.
He should have hosted the original Punked.
Hello, and welcome to Punked. Today on Punked, we punk Rob Thomas.
This woman was punked to death, and we still don't know who did it.
Anyway,
the police found her body in 8 pieces.
The original revival was hosted not by Ashton Kutcher, but by Justin Bieber. So it's shocking to imagine that one failed.
Do you think Justin Bieber got hit in the balls?
One could only hope.
I wish.
Yeah. Presumably, Bieber is also not going to be in the revival for the second go-around. So here's hoping for Supercomputer.
I have set up these rakes to hit the contestants in the balls when they step on them.
Man, I feel like you guys have not seen anything regarding Punked before.
I've seen Punk, but I was too little to remember any of it.
Shut up, old man. I am the future.
It's like a prank show. It's like
Yeah, like he runs out with a pie and puts it in their face and like, "Oh, you got punked."
you got punked. Yep, that's right.
For my next prank, I will fake being kidnapped and murdered in front of my best friend.
See, now that's a punk. And you know what you do? You do that one to Ashton Kutcher. You have
Don't worry, it's just a prank, bro.
You have
just a prank.
Wilmer Valderrama get kidnapped, and then
Yeah, you hire like Benicio del Toro.
Well, no, don't hire another famous person. Just have someone murder him, and then Ashton Kutcher gets like really upset, and you're just like, "Oh man, we totally punked you."
I thought of a really good punk. So you stage a situation where somebody thinks they're in an active war zone, like you blow a bunch of stuff up.
It's like the end of the game with Michael Douglas.
He falls out of a
when
building.
The security guards run in. Yes.
Yeah, this is a good idea.
It's just a prank, bro.
Who do you think would be a good celebrity to throw in a war zone?
Well, not The Rock.
Kiefer Sutherland.
You just start. No, that's even worse.
What do you think? He has muscle memory from playing a terrorist stopper?
Right. Only Keanu would do well in an actual war zone.
Yeah,
since he does real life special ops training for those films.
And of course, as we know, that's as good as being in the actual field all the time.
Oh, you heard it here, folks. Swanson thinks he can beat up Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
Swanson's been training really hard for that showdown, so I wouldn't put it past him.
I've been doing 3 crunches.
Wayne Knight.
Did you guys see that promo Swanson cut calling out Keanu Reeves?
Yeah.
Listen, Keanu.
Listen here, brother.
This ring ain't big enough for the both of us.
Yeah.
And neither it's a title.
I challenged Keanu to a one-on-one death match.
Disrespect. Did he acknowledge it?
No, of course not. But if he wants to acknowledge it, then sure, I'll do it.
Look out for his gun kata. He has mastered Mozambique shooting. 2 in the chest, 1 in the head.
I'm just picturing like a flash forward and Swanson's dead.
Yeah, he just turns the corner and Keanu shoots him twice.
Alright, well, let's get to some other streaming service news.
He reveals that all the deaths in his films are actually real and he actually did them all.
We don't want to talk about Wayne Knight in a war zone.
No.
Okay.
Alright, so it's time to talk about another streaming service that's not doing so hot. DC Universe.
The Universe.
Last time we talked about DC Universe, we were talking, of course, about Swamp Thing. And it seems where there's
More
a
like
swamp, there's a
womp thing.
Yes. Where there's a swamp, there's a thing. And it turns out that this thing is canceled. Just 1 week after the premiere of its first season, this past Friday, a Swamp Thing has officially been canceled.
This thing is financial insolvency.
Yeah. It turns out that's the one thing Swamp Thing can't fix. Including his own, personal body issue.
The one green thing he doesn't have dominion over.
Yeah, money. This is, of course, after a huge swath of production issues, including the episode order being cut from 13 episodes to 10.
Oof.
This is in addition to the whole DC Universe being reevaluated, quote unquote, in the wake of AT&T taking over Time Warner.
I love these mergers. They're cute.
They're great for business. Like all of these people that are probably going to get laid off because DC Universe gets folded into some other streaming service.
It could be worse.
It is, yeah, I'm sure it won't ever be worse. And this is DC Universe, of course, is still going strong, though. They've announced a second season for their program Titans, and presumably, presumably a second season for the just wrapped Doom Patrol.
Where's Batman? I want Batman.
Batman's actually going to be in the next season of Titans. He's played by the guy who played Jorah Mormont.
Is he just going to join the Titans?
That's a weird casting choice.
He's gonna be like, Justice League is just too big for me. I'm gonna join you guys.
Fuck the Justice League.
How do you do, fellow teens?
It's me, Batman. I'm a teenager, too.
He comes in on a bat skateboard.
Would have a little booster on it.
But yeah, so this all sounds well and good. Well, unless you're DC Universe, until new details were revealed that suggest that the problems might not all be with DC. One of the primary reasons for the cancellation might have to do with where the series was filmed. North Carolina, the state, initially promised a $40 million tax rebate for filming in the area, which ended up being about half of the show's first season budget, until a paperwork error of some sort caused them to change that rebate to about $12 million. A noticeable difference.
A paperwork error.
Other sources I've seen say that the House cut all the funding in the film department. So we can blame it on the Republicans.
Like, whoops, the papers fell over and some ink got on it and...
There's a paperwork error.
What does that mean?
And
We only have $10 million.
We lost all our money, and so now you gotta take this $10 million. Sorry, guys.
We spent it all on outlying Mexicans. I'm sorry.
Sorry, guys. We spent all our money over there on the Marvel shows, so we gotta...
We built a wall to separate us from South Carolina because they have lesser stock than us.
So now you got a $10 million for your Swamp Thing show.
But you're Warner Brothers. You can make up for it.
We built a giant gun and we fired it and it
And
fell
it
over
ran.
and broke, and now we're spending a lot of money repairing it.
Yeah, so Swamp Thing is no more, thanks to bureaucracy.
Sounds
Okay,
like they drained the swamp.
What if they
Of
end Swamp Thing by having Swamp Thing turn into Thanos dust?
Oh,
I don't think that's legal.
That's some synergy.
It's not legal to have someone turn to dust?
Oh man, imagine the court battle. That'd be like some real duel of the fates shit.
They have to call in Josh Brolin. I don't know why I'm here.
What's he up to these days?
Probably chilling in his $15 million mansion that he bought with all of his Avengers money.
Good for him.
He probably has two swimming pools on top of one another.
And a car.
Yeah, at least one. Anyway.
Probably a helicopter.
Oh man,
Oh,
Thanos copter.
he has the Thanos copter, yeah. It's just adorned with Thanos.
It's got Thanos' face on the front, like that one guy from Thomas the Tank Engine.
Yeah, you know.
The
The
helicopter guy.
that reference that everyone would totally get. You know, Thomas the Tank
I
Engine,
got it.
everyone's favorite thing.
Cultural milestone.
Yeah. Remembered and beloved by everybody, that guy from Thomas the Tank Engine.
The guy who was a helicopter.
He's our friend.
What was his name? Helicopter Hank?
His name was Harold.
Oh.
The helicopter. I believe he worked for the police. So actually, he's kind of a problematic fave, now that I think about it.
Yeah, now Starmaster has to reevaluate his opinion on Harold Helicopter.
Harold the helicopter.
Harold Helicopter.
The helicopter. Also, there was a guy
Harold
named-
Helicopter.
There was a guy named Terrence the Tractor.
Yeah.
Yeah, what did he do?
Terrence
He was
Tractor.
he was a tractor.
Did he pull farm equipment?
Yes. Also, there was another tractor, but that was like an old-timey steam tractor. I
Did he
forgot what
die?
his- No.
Oh.
Did anyone die in Thomas?
Ah, yes. They left that one guy in the shed, and then it got buried under a mountain for a century, and presumably he died. And in the
Man.
comic books, and in the book...
In the
he
comic
was-
books,
No, sorry. Muscle memory, guys.
the Thomas the
And
Tank Engine comics, man.
In the manga.
Yes, in the manga, there's this one illustration of this train on the British mainland that's about to be welded and scrapped.
Oh, that's savage.
Man.
Yeah, they were written like in the 1950s when steam was being phased out.
What interesting lore. Well, it's time for another segment that features lore. It's time for Wiki Your Poison. Hit the themes, Kyo.
Thank you.
All right.
All right. The rules are simple. I hit random articles on Wikipedia. You get a veto. If you don't veto it, I read the article.
We each get one veto?
Yes, and you have to explain why you vetoed it.
Oh, okay.
I'm ready.
All right, let's rev it up. Bright Week.
You
Veto.
say Bright Week?
Bright Week. BRIGHT week.
Yeah, I'm all for Bright Week. This sounds
I'm
good.
vetoing
Well, Wells wants it right, but why?
I don't like brightness.
I'll give you a quick blurb. This is a Greek Orthodox thing.
It's a what?
A what?
A Greek Orthodox thing.
Okay, that was not the first word you said. The first word sounded like you were doing some Roman chanting real quick.
Sorry. I'm falling apart.
It's a Greek... Slayer Master's slowly melting.
Oh no.
Oh,
Okay.
it's a Greek Orthodox.
Next up is Epuera.
Epuera?
EPERUA.
It's really hard to tell if he's pronouncing it right or not.
EPERUA?
I will tell you this is a short one.
I have no idea what it is, but I'm going to veto it because I'm scared.
That's fair.
Yeah,
One.
fear for the other is a common trait of Kyoran's.
Penicillin vergatum.
Oh no!
This is the second time this has happened when we've played this game.
Wait a minute, hold on. The title's Penicillin vergatum, but the article goes Penicillium venetium is a species of fungus in the genus Penicillium.
Whoa, it sounds like someone made a blunder at Wikipedia.
Which was isolated from soil of a soybean field in New Caledonia. The end.
Oh, thank
At
God.
least it was short.
Do you have any questions? Do you want to know where New Caledonia is? It's east of Australia.
Which one is it?
It's east of Australia.
Okay.
Well, I wanted to know, is there a picture?
No, there is not.
Oh.
I believe that New Caledonia is an island chain that contains Guadalcanal.
So you're saying there's no pictures of New Caledonia in the world?
No, there's plenty of them.
Just search New Caledonia for yourself. And New Calzonia, is that right it's called?
New Caledonia is a special collectivity of France, governed under the Nomia Accord, located in southwest Pacific
Look, we already
Ocean.
did this, man. We did Wiki Your Poison, alright? You don't get two.
You're not corrupted enough.
Anyway, that's been Wiki Your Poison. Thanks for that great contribution, Stairmaster.
I could talk about the Battle of Guadalcanal if you
No,
like.
thank you. Now it's time for another great segment. It's Trailer Blazers. Hit the theme, Stairmaster. Wow, what a
No.
what a sensual theme song. Anyway, we watched but one trailer this week, and it's for Apple TV Plus, or whatever they're calling their streaming service. Apple's streaming service, which is debuting sometime in the future, presumably. They have given us a trailer for their first show, For All Mankind. Show running by the guy who did Battlestar Galactica.
Big oof.
I mean, it's a good show, but...
Well, which part of Battlestar Galactica did he show run?
all of it.
Oh, that includes the ending then. Shame on him.
Alright, sure.
It was Battlestar Galactica with the controversial ending, wasn't it? Am I thinking of the other space show?
You're mad about it and you don't even know what happened?
Really. I'm trying to be mad on the behalf of the audience. the TV lovers out there.
I mean, the audience could just have their own opinion.
Fuck them.
Oh. Well, Stairmaster's now mad at the audience.
You pigs.
Is this what you want?
Do you not understand what I do for you each week?
Whoa, he's ripping his shirt.
Putting up with these two bozos.
He's got a gun.
Nobody move. He might do something crazy. I'm gonna shoot this computer.
No, not the computer, our trusted
Not
friend.
the TV-tron 5000.
I'm gonna shoot myself because I'm twisted.
Whoa.
Wait, no,
I'm in
not
love with
Stairmaster,
chaos.
our good
Not
friend.
the Stairmaster 1.0.
I'm damaged.
Whoa.
Click.
Stair, if you die, we're gonna have to get Stair 2.0, and I don't trust that guy.
Yeah, he's in beta.
Click. Click. Oh man, I forgot all my bullets.
Oh, wow. Wow,
Guess I'm gonna have
that
to
really
beat
is
myself to
twisted.
death with this gun. Ah.
Wow, what a crazy guy.
Man.
Oh, look, he's dead.
He announced he's dead before he died.
No, that was me.
Oh,
The computer.
TV-tron. Okay. Our good friend. Will you be our
All right,
co-host?
bring out Stair 2.0.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Downloading Stairmaster voice protocol. Hey, you fellas.
Wow, it's just like he's
Okay.
here in the flesh, only there's a cold robot next to me.
Hey, man, do you want me to grab you with my clasper?
Uh,
Clasper?
I don't want you to grab me with either of them.
Why not?
Because we gotta talk about this trailer.
Oh, right.
So yeah, this
Really?
trailer is interesting. I don't know. It's looks like it's gonna be
I don't-
super dumb.
I don't know how to feel about alternate history.
Alternate histories are always bad. I think usually, right?
Yeah, they're mostly like dumb reactionary wish fulfillment garbage.
Then also,
What if the communists got on the moon, and then we had a moon war?
and it's almost always stuff where it's like, what if white people did white shit?
Oh yeah, you never see anything about what if Mansa Musa was even richer.
Yes, like.
What if he had a gun?
Anyway, as for this show, this is about what if the communists landed on the moon first, and it starts a moon war.
Hmm.
I mean, it's what it seems like. They're like, we gotta build a base on the moon.
Yeah, I don't really know what the actual real world consequences would have been for us losing the space race, but
To be fair, most Russians act like getting a man into space was the race.
I
The
mean,
moon is just like a little extra thing.
to be fair, most of the first accomplishments in space were by the Russians.
Yes.
yeah. So I don't know why there was are these dire consequences?
No,
If you're
I feel
a
like
neoliberal, yeah.
I feel like the most accurate thing is the thing that we see in the middle of the trailer, where they literally just move the goal marker. Where they're like, it's not about being the first on the moon anymore. It's about owning the moon. That would be what we actually would do.
We have to exploit it.
We would just.
We have to be the ones to destroy the moon.
If we can't have the moon, no one will. That's clearly where this is going, right? They blow up the moon. Anyway, this show looks kind of one-sided, especially considering it's made by the guy who did Battlestar Galactica, which was all about different sides.
Also, I didn't recognize any of the actors, so that's a good sign.
Yeah, I didn't
I know
care.
how I feel every time I see anything.
This was all just bland white people being like, the moon.
What's the conflict going to be besides, oh no, the spaceship's on fire?
It's about getting people on the moon and owning it. The moon belongs to America now.
They're gonna nuke the moon.
Yeah. But the most troubling thing is definitely that there's not any like Russians at all, other than like the two like in the trailer. There's like maybe one dude who shows up and he's like, "I'm a Russian guy."
Well, who would want to watch a show about Russian people?
I mean, if you're doing a
Nobody.
show about a fake space race,
I mean, look at how badly
Swanson-
HBO's Chernobyl did.
Yeah, like
Critically.
Swanson, you're being absurd here. There's no precedent for any kind of Russian-based television program.
you're right. The Russians don't have TVs. Yeah, there's no Russians in this, or like it doesn't seem like it's going to be dealing with that kind of side, and that's no good.
Mm.
Anyway, tune out.
Yeah, I don't know how you're gonna make it compelling unless you go really hard sci-fi, like Apollo 13 level of detail, and I don't think a TV show can do that.
True.
Especially not one for a streaming service. Get out of there.
All right. Well, that's it for that. So let's get to the main event.
Huh?
Uh-oh.
We watched Good Omens, Amazon Prime's new series that's a
Yes.
co-venture with BBC Two.
Based off the novel by Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman.
Yes, with Neil Gaiman being one of the writer and producer of the show.
And Terry Pratchett being dead.
Yeah, so presumably he's doesn't care.
Presumably.
I mean, one has to. Yeah, we have to guess. We don't know for sure.
He's turning in his casket because they made Adam and Eve black.
We need to be very careful about what we assume about the
Wait,
dead.
was Terry Pratchett a racist?
No.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say I have to reevaluate my thoughts
I mean,
on
he was
Discworld.
British, so who knows?
Of course, British and notorious for being a whole bunch of racists,
Mm-hmm.
just like Americans. All right, so
What a coincidence, huh?
Perfidus Albion.
All right, so yeah, we open up. God is our narrator, and it's a woman.
Fellas, am I the fellas? I was just thinking that TV narrators, they're no good.
I don't know. This
Like
one was fun because it's
I don't
literally
know.
the voice of God.
I don't know. I've just not liked any narrator on any show we've had to watch for this podcasting program.
Anyway, I like the sort of idea of a narrator being the literal
Literally
voice
God.
of God. Yeah, that's fun, especially because it's Francis McDormand. Anyway, yeah. So God's there and like, hey, I'm God. I made Adam and Eve. And
I do what I want.
I do what I
when I want.
Yeah.
God's twisted, you know.
God's the most. God is the original Twisted.
Yeah, God is basically the Joker.
God is just on something, man.
Yeah, you have to be on something to make humanity. Oh man. Anyway, yeah. So we get Adam and Eve.
And wow, they made Eve dummy thick.
Adam and Eve both fine in this one. And yeah, Adam and Eve. We see the everything that happens with them. The whole story. The
David Tennant's a big wiggly boy.
Yeah, he's a snake boy who turns into
But
a demon boy.
But unrealistically, that snake does not have legs. Which, as the Book of Genesis mentions, God took away from the snake as punishment.
Yeah, that must have been
I think they highly truncated the story.
Yeah, that must have been a translation error. See,
yes, we're going to have to look at the Torah.
Yeah, see, in the original manuscripts, it was just a snake.
It was just a British guy.
Yeah, it was just in the manga, they didn't have all that filler.
It was Doctor Who.
In the original transcript, it was just David Tennant.
And then the police box came from the ether.
Scottish icon David Tennant.
I feel like he was like most handsome man in some magazine one time.
Yeah, that tracks. Anyway, he's here. He's got his snake eyes, so he's like wearing sunglasses all the time. But in this first,
looking like Elton John.
Yeah, in this first scene, Rocketman in theaters now. In this first scene, he's talking with Michael Sheen's character, who's an angel boy, and he's like, "Boy, wouldn't it be weird if we did the opposite of what we're supposed to do? Maybe giving them free will is a good thing, and you trying to stop them, and you giving them a flaming sword was a bad thing."
Book thesis? Who knows? Also, the Adam and Eve thing is a show invention. It wasn't in the book.
No? Huh.
No, I got the copy of the book right here. I'll check it if you want.
Sure.
Okay.
Wow, look at the computer go through the book in record time.
Okay, the book starts at 11 years ago, which is presumably not when the Garden of Eden stuff happens.
Well, yeah, that's what happens right after the Garden of Eden stuff.
I'm just saying. I'm just pointing out.
I mean, it's fine. I don't know. I liked it.
Okay.
Wait, did you not?
I'm just saying for the purist who wants to skip all the filler.
Oh. I mean, it's a
the
6-episode
canonical material.
miniseries. I don't know why you would care that much.
Yeah, I'm anime only, so I really don't care what was in the original.
Yeah, but are you
manga.
dub or sub?
I prefer the American dub. I can't really understand what anyone in this is saying.
Yeah, they just dub it over with American dialect.
Hello, I am David Tennant. I am a snake.
Want to go out for cheeseburgers?
Let us reject Christ and do heroin.
Anyway, yeah, so they seem to, the Angel Boy and Crowley, which is the demon, have seemed to have formed some sort of bond in the centuries since then. Millennia,
Friend
some
boys.
would say. So anyway, 11 years before our current day, and these two demons are hanging out.
At the abandoned church.
Yeah.
At the abandoned abbey.
Which is where demons like to hang, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
They meet up with David Tennant. These are some lame demons, by the way, because they mention what they do, and they're like, yes, we set him on a path. In 10 years, he'll be ours. And then David Tennant's just like, yeah, I destroyed all currency.
I don't think he did that.
No, he said he took out the cell towers and caused like chaos.
I don't think he else. I think he also lied about that.
That's what he said he did. I don't know.
Yeah, but he later reveals he'd been lying about his work performance. So who knows?
Well,
I'm
either
a
way-
narrator.
Either way, they seemed very unimpressed with that feat.
They don't know what cell phones are. They're out of it.
It's
They're out of
true.
touch.
They think chow is a Italian word for food.
No, they understood what he was saying, though. They just didn't think it was cool.
Yeah, they were thoroughly unimpressed by his demonness.
Hmm.
We also
Anyways.
get told that hell has a head office. It's really interesting to see all these depictions of heaven and hell, and there's always bureaucratic stuff in it.
It's really weird because hell doesn't really seem all that office-like. It's very disorganized, very grungy. Well, heaven is this disturbing corporate space that kind of unnerved me.
Yeah, hell seems more of like the basement of a bureaucratic office.
It seems like a dive bar. Or like some service tunnel in a college campus somewhere.
What dive bar would you go to where there's literally a cell that you just throw
A
someone
Satanist
in?
one?
Huh?
A BDSM one?
Good point.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you were depicting hell and heaven, where would you place it?
Wow.
Heaven would be a completely deserted beach. That way it's somewhat still eerie, but you're like, oh yeah, that fits for heaven.
And hell would be Ohio.
Yes. Cleveland specifically. Yeah, so he these demons are here to give him the ultimate task. He's
And
gonna
they hand him a baby in a basket.
Well, they hand him a basket. We didn't know it's a baby yet.
It's oddly quiet for a baby that's trapped in a basket.
Yeah, that baby doesn't start crying until the basket is open to reveal that there's a baby in it.
It's not a very good CGI baby either.
No,
In fact,
I
dare
mean,
say it's a bad CGI baby.
to be fair though, this baby is also the Antichrist, so I guess it is supposed to look sort of weird and not like cry a whole bunch. Anyway, needless to say, Crowley is not happy to get this undertaking, but he'll do it anyway, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Or will he?
So then we cut to the Satanists from Surviving Edge Weapons,
Yes.
and they're preparing for the ritual.
What's that?
The
Explain
ritual.
that.
It's an educational police video from the late 80s, early 90s, where cops get violently murdered with knives with frequent and disturbing frequency.
It's a deep dive into why cops shoot people so quickly.
It's on YouTube. Go look at it. Let's watch the whole thing.
They literally have a guy like cutting his own fingers off or something.
At the mental asylum.
Yeah, it's great.
And it's like, yeah, police officers,
And
this is the mentally ill. And what do you do with the mentally ill?
You beat him with a baton.
Yeah, it's interesting because it's still being used to train people in the LAPD today.
Oh, God. Behind any door could be a medieval claymore ready to take your life.
Anyway, these nuns are ready to prepare the Antichrist
Baby swap.
Yeah, it's a whole racket. What I want to
Now, that
know
would be
is
a fun
what is this hospital they're running?
It's like a
It's like
church.
Satan Hospital.
It's 11 years
They
ago,
specifically
so
set up for this baby swap.
Yeah, it's 11 years ago though, so it's like 2006, and they're running this like ancient-looking hospital.
It's a church hospital. It's Europe, man. Give it up.
Give it up for Europe.
Give it up for Europe, folks.
They've got old buildings in Europe. They got like bone towers people live in and stuff.
Yeah, Europe's on another level, man.
I don't
Here, like you go to the suburbs, you buy yourself a little house that got built in a big row with other ones. In Europe, you just buy like an ancient cathedral.
Yeah, you just sort of
And
live in it.
And you have to fight the Bone Lord at the top to take ownership of it.
Yeah. The Bone Lord has a title that's in its name, and then once you defeat it, it turns to your name.
Be careful though. If his flaming sword falls on the title and burns it up, you lose the whole building.
Yeah, it just crumbles.
Also, he's got this one move that's undodgeable. You have to counter it.
Yeah, it's the only way you can beat him. Takes a couple tries.
Well, unless you build up your con set high enough to tank it, but it's like really not optimal to do it that way.
It's
Anyway.
really hard to get to that point before.
I recommend going for a magic build. Anyways, this week on MTV's Baby Swap.
Yeah, these babies, there's a problem, you see. Because an unexpected arrival happens with an early pregnancy arrival.
There were supposed to be only 2 babies, but now there are 3.
Yes, so now and that's apparently just enough to put the gum in the machinery of this entire operation.
Well, it seemed like a very carefully conceived plan, but also they didn't foresee 3 babies.
So I take it that these other people also booked their the birth of their child in a
in advance, yes,
in a bone shack in the nun school.
Yes.
All right. And these nuns apparently don't believe in pain medicine, from what I'm gathering from all of this, because
I assume it's like one of those small villages, like in Hot Shots or whatever. Hot Fuzz.
Oh yes,
Yes, Hot Fuzz. And that's the only place you can get healthcare is from the Satanist nuns.
So why are these famous? Why is an assistant to the president's wife there then?
They live there.
They live in Europe?
They live like in the haunted mansion at the edge of town.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't seem like they explain a whole lot why these people are at this random nun place 11 years ago.
I don't know. That's how it was in the books.
Well, yeah, and the book was written in 1990. 11 years ago in the 80s, that would make some sort of sense.
Yeah, they outlawed God, like back in 1999.
Yeah.
England.
I'm just saying, why wouldn't you just go to an advanced hospital?
Look, it's called the prophecy, Swanson. They have to follow it.
It was destined for them to go to that.
Anyway, so yeah, these nuns, they muck it up. One nun in particular is not very bright.
I don't know if she's not bright.
I don't know, she seems pretty naive.
I mean, that's not stupid.
She
She seems like a nice lady.
Yeah, nice enough to screw everything up.
To be fair, they did deliberately exclude her from everything. I would say that's like the headmistress's fault for what happened.
Yeah?
Yeah, maybe she should have thought, hey, what if an extra baby shows up?
Well, who's the one who's going to get executed, do you think?
Everyone?
Yeah, they're probably...
Since
oh
they're
yeah,
working for the devil.
they do all die. Anyway, we check back in with Angel Boy, and John Hamm shows up. And he's like, yeah, that's right, I am Gabriel.
What are your favorite sins to commit?
You better say none. Yeah, he shows
Why
up.
My
do
favorite
men-
sin involves suck.
Why do men commit sodomy? It's because they lack something.
But yeah, he charges Michael Sheen's character with keeping an eye on Crowley. He's up to something because the Antichrist is here. And he's also... Michael Sheen's character is also not happy to see the world potentially coming to an end.
Mm-hmm. So then he hangs out with Crowley and they get drunk because they're good friends.
Well, yeah, Crowley shows up, brings the baby gets swapped, and they don't realize it.
A shag baby swap.
Yeah. The real Antichrist goes with a nice, lovely family in somewhere in England.
And that third baby, we never see the fate of.
Well, yeah, who cares about that one? And the actual who they think is the Antichrist is just some random kid, some shitty ass
kid. Yeah, raised
kid.
by a middle class family, so he's only like slightly maladjusted.
Middle class family. This is an upper. This is like a. No. This is a rich
wait,
family.
You mean the real Antichrist or the fake Antichrist?
The fake Antichrist. This is a rich family.
Sorry, might be.
Yeah, the real Antichrist gets raised by a middle class family, so he's probably, I don't know, normal.
He's just a little bit off kilter.
Yeah.
You know, corrupted by our late capitalist society.
And, well, it's Britain, so it's like mid-capitalist society.
We'll see come Brexit.
So yeah, this,
Someone say breakfast?
Yeah, we'll see at breakfast.
Breakfast means breakfast.
What's for breakfast?
Nothing, we're leaving.
A hard border.
Again?
Man, you say that every day.
I'm sorry, Keo, we can't give you cereal. It would violate the Good Friday Agreement.
Anyway, yeah, so they give birth to a boy. Crowley gets Michael Sheen drunk and convinces him to take part in his plan, which is that they're going to undermine his ideas. He's going to be,
very clever loophole.
Yeah, he's going to be whispering all the dirty secrets into this Antichrist's ear. And then...
Well, Michael Sheen's going to be like, be a good boy.
Yeah.
Don't do murders.
So...
Then we get this fun setup where David Tennant see Nanny, like Mrs. Doubtfire look.
Yeah, he's got a real Robin Williams vibe going on.
Well, Michael Sheen sort of looks like a British prospector.
Yeah, I don't know why
the groundskeeper.
Why did he change his face for this?
He likes costuming, I guess.
Like all Crowley did for this was just sort of like do his hair up and look more feminine. And this,
meanwhile,
yeah, he got a whole rhinoplasty done.
Yeah, he's like,
he really wants it to be authentic.
If we don't get that gold, Ian McShane's gonna feed us to the pigs.
I mean, yeah, he comes in, he's like a helpful gardener who's like, what you need to do is love people.
Like your friends, Mr. Snail, Mr. Slug, and Mr. Turtle.
Yeah.
Never kill. Killing's bad. Don't kill.
Don't blow up the world.
Whatever you do, don't kill people. If you get a hellhound, don't name it a bad name.
And then later that night, David Tennant's like, you gotta kill people.
Killing's what makes you human.
Well, that part doesn't happen, but...
Yeah.
The first part does.
Everyone.
Yeah, so my favorite part about this scene later when they go and grab a bite to eat is they cut to after the meal, presumably to save money on food because that plate is bone dry. There's not a crumb on that plate. There was no trace of food.
Perhaps they did the magic, earlier it was established they can just remove the wine from their bodies and put it back in the bottles.
Yeah, that can't be good for consumption.
Maybe they just stared at the plate and the food just faded out of existence and faded back into their stummies.
Well, yeah, what do they do with those bottles after they drank it all and put it back? Do they give it to other people? That can't be good to drink.
No,
what could they possibly contaminate it with?
No, I don't think that's the first time they've done that.
Yeah, well, so they have one
I think
bottle.
that one's like I think that wine's like 1,000 years old.
Oh yeah, they just had the same bottle of wine and they just keep sort of doing whatever to it.
Yeah, you've got like some vintage from the 100 Years' War.
I guess that would explain why Crowley still has like a 1920s Bentley.
Yeah, it's a real mind trip being immortal.
Anyway, so it turns out demons are really good at convincing people to do things. And eventually 11 years pass and...
Swanson, that's not true. There's a demon who tells me to do things, and I don't generally listen to him that much.
Oh, yeah?
That is true.
What's his name?
His name is George.
Well, yeah, what's he tell you to do?
Well, he told me, steal Swanson's car.
He did that.
It wasn't because he told me to.
Well, why'd you do
Well,
it
that's
then?
good. Because he's thinking for himself now,
Yeah,
Swanson.
I wanted your car.
Why can't we praise him for that? For making this big step forward.
Because he stole my car. He still hasn't given it back.
Look, there's advantages and disadvantages to every situation.
I had to hitchhike here.
But now you're less fat.
That's
And
not
he
how
told me to put this
hitchhiking
virus-
works.
You told me to put this virus inside of Stare 2.0.
What? Oh, wait,
Did you do
no,
that?
I'm the simulation.
Yeah, did you do that?
Yes, did you do that?
Well, yeah, I did.
We should keep him on ice.
What does that mean?
You know what it means.
It means give the robot some ice.
No, it means Steermaster 2.
All right, I'll give him some
Not me.
ice.
Please do not put ice in my
There you
circuits.
go, pal.
Zoom, zoom, zap.
What a funny
He's
gag
dead.
he does there, where he pretends to spark and smoke comes out of him.
Turns completely off.
Yeah, what a good gag.
Yeah, demons are not that convincing.
You're right. It's probably just a TV thing.
Yeah, I only put that poison in your drink because I saw on the news poison's good for you.
That one doesn't track. Anyway, this drink's great.
Yeah.
I feel like demons can be more convincing if they looked like David Tennant.
Reboot complete.
Okay, that's a good point.
Oh,
Oh,
hey,
hey.
Stairmaster's back from break.
Yeah. Where were we at this episode? You guys were talking about? Oh, yeah. And then we get some prime shit, kid. With this birthday party scene, right?
Yeah, this kid, Michael Sheen's doing some circus stuff.
Poor magic tricks.
Yeah, he's doing magic tricks, and no one's a fan.
They call him rubbish.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it does look kind of rubbish.
You ever been called rubbish before?
No, I feel like I'd be completely destroyed if someone called me rubbish.
Oi, you complete rubbish, eh?
Oi, you're rubbish. This whole thing's shite.
Her pussy's just a rubbish bin.
Yeah, my psyche would shatter.
Yeah, what ends up happening instead is a food fight ensues. People throw cake at each other.
Many die.
Many are dead, lost to the Great Cake War. And, Crowley and Michael Sheen are Azrael, is that his name? Sure. Are waiting for a sign because a hellhound is supposed to come, and that'll be the true sign of whether or not they've done their work.
The Antichrist is supposed to name the hellhound because, as in Old Testament tradition, names have power over things.
And the name will start the end of the world.
And we cut back to the middle class, the Antichrist, who's a middle class boy, and she doesn't really realize what's going on.
Yeah.
So he just names the dog Dog.
Look, with a pet name like Dog, this kid has to be the Antichrist.
I think he's just dumb.
You know, guys, there's a little fact about the word dog that you might not be aware of.
Oh?
All right. Whew, here we go. All right, so
Oh, wow, a dog came in here.
The dog.
The dog came
the
back.
dog from earlier. Yeah, dog is God backwards.
Oh!
Whoa, it's kind of like how red rum backwards is murder?
So wait. This hellhound is now Bizarro God?
Yep.
Okay.
That's the end of the show, by the way. That like the show just stopped at that
Yes,
point.
it says it has someone come on screen and say God is dog backwards. And then it just ends.
It cuts a helicopter shot at the wastelands of Chernobyl. The end.
Yeah. Anyway, so at this point, Azrael and Crowley realize that
They done fucked up.
they done messed up. And yeah, that's the end of the episode. The end.
Bye-bye.
Any final thoughts on this
Goodbye,
episode?
Swanson.
Oh, David Tennant's fun, I guess.
Time for me to return to my long slumber.
Oh, well, want to give a thought on the episode before you do that?
Well, George says it's time for me to go to
Well,
bed.
why don't you talk about the episode first?
It is time for the metamorphosis. Ruff.
I thought you didn't listen to George.
I'm listening to the dog.
Oh.
Not
Well, that
George.
is fair.
You must enshrine yourself in a cocoon. Ruff.
Oh, much like the reactor
Yeah.
in Chernobyl.
Yeah, I liked it. It was fun.
Yeah, this was fun. I like the style of it, and David Tennant is great as always.
It is light fare.
Yeah, I mean,
Hearty recommend.
yes, it sounds like a tune in for Good Omens.
Wow, it feels like it's been a while since I've had a tune in.
It's true, yeah, because you didn't
Probably because I was dead for 2 weeks.
yeah, for those
Yeah,
2 weeks that you brutally got murdered.
And before that, we were in a real television drought.
Yep, we had no TV.
The TV turned barren. Nothing good grew from
The
there.
great TV famine.
There was something on the TV, but it was like a really staticky image of a guy walking towards the camera.
Oh no.
That sounds like some Twin Peaks shit. I don't want any of that.
Yeah, I turned it off really quick.
Alright, so that's it for this week's episode of the show. If you have any quips, comments, questions, foresights, or otherwise, you can send them to us at tvtunerspodcast@gmail.com. What's that email, Kieran?
Television at sleepy.net.
That's right. And you can also find us on Twitter. I'm on Twitter at Jesse Swanson.
I'm on Twitter at Stairmaster2. You can also find me on Letterboxd.
Yeah, George says to follow Stairmaster on Twitter.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
Yeah, follow Stairmaster on Twitter, I guess.
That's a problematic wreck.
Nah, George is a cool guy. I met him.
Well, I don't listen to him very often, but that sounds like a pretty decent bit of advice. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that.
You can also follow the show on Twitter at TV Tuners. And use the hashtag TV Tuners, and we'll give a glance at what you're saying.
Yeah, Swanson, unfortunately, George says no to that one.
Well, screw George. Use the hashtag TV Tuners. If you really want to stick it to George, use the hashtag TV Tuners and show him what for.
He's getting angry.
Good.
And don't forget to plug me.
Oh yeah, we gotta plug him in.
Oh, he's running out of battery.
I host the entire Burger King streaming service.
Yeah, we
on
don't
my
want to
backup storage.
we don't want to lose that delicate data. As always, we are on all of the podcatchers of your choice. We're on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, Sleebies.com.
SoundCloud.
No. You
Make an upload.
We're on Spotify now too, and YouTube. You can find us on both of those places.
Wow, we're moving up in the world.
Yes. Just search TV Tuners and we'll be there, waiting for you. But until that day comes, we'll be here waiting. More TV goodness. We'll be back next week for that.
Keep watching.
What? My catchphrase. Gone. Bye.
It is not George anymore. Ruff. Look,
It's over.
I found him.
Hey, I'll play with you some other time.
You have to watch it. It's so good.
It was alright.
Your friends may have decent taste in movies, but their incoherent reviews are getting annoying.
I don't know. I just didn't like it.
Looking for a new podcast?
Join Time Sensitive, where we break down the recent movies you've heard of, but may have missed.
Spoilers included.
And we get it. You're busy and can't see everything, but are you really going to track it down a year later?
We take the time so you don't have to.
Find us on Twitter @TSMoviePod and find out what we're watching.
I'm Sam.
I'm Ian.
And I'm Kate, and we're 3 friends and armchair movie critics. Seriously, invite us into your living room.
Kate, stop.
Listen now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Stitcher.
Time sensitive, because you deserve better.